So, what is Biomutant in a nutshell? Biomutant is an open-world, post-apocalyptic kung fu fable. Basically, in terms of structure, it's like Zelda Breath of the Wild, I guess. But the feedback that we've been getting over the years, it's that it's kind of a strange, weird, good mix between Ratchet and Clank, Devil May Cry, Batman Arkham, yeah, and a couple of other influences. So it's truly an open world game, 8x8 kilometers, filled with a lot of weird events and fun things to find. I think the primary thing that we worked a lot with is the control that the player have over the character customization. We have the possibility for the player, to set the attributes, and in Biomutant, that's tightly connected or integrated with the way that the character looks. But the player is like completely free to morph their own breed, we call it a breed, but mammal, if you will. And eventually, people have a lot of assumptions on what kind of animal this is. But for me, and I guess the team, we have allowed the player to make what I call, more like a Muppet. And with character customization, it goes all the way down to crafting bits onto your clothes or hats or pants or whatnot. I guess the most important thing is the arsenal or the weapons. I mean, it's an action role-playing game, right? So we're focusing on the action parts of, the role-playing aspect. Each part that you can find for weapons and gear also comes with like a material, a quality aspect, so they can be more damaged or of a higher quality material. Just mentioning that you don't have to repair, but you can actually upgrade things that are broken, but they will never diminish in terms of their material qualities, like in Zelda, for example. We don't do that. In the game, you have 6 different tribes, so they're all composed of, a leader, a Sifu, if you will, that have mastered a specific Wang Fu combat style and trained his disciples in that. So these tribes are now in conflict. Basically, there are 3 tribes that have what we call a light aura. So basically a good karma, if you will, if you want to paint it black and white. And there are 3 tribes that have like a dark aura. Eventually, at the start of the game, you will find that you have to choose an ally, so one of these 6 tribes. As you move along or go further into the game, you're free at any time to change your allegiance. But at the start of the game, you choose one of these 2 tribes. And basically, at that point, the state of the world is represented by the huge tree that's at the heart of the 8x8 kilometer open world. So it's a representation of the world either going under or the world surviving. So this is all tied to the tree of life. A light or a tribe, they want to save the world, so make sure that the tree survives, and also then uniting the other tribes, whilst allying with dark or a tribe would mean the opposite. They believe that the only way that you can move forward is to make sure there's kind of a cleansing, I guess. So making sure that everything that's bad in the world kind of goes under, so you have a rebirth and start anew, if that makes sense. So you're very free to make this choice, but also bear in mind that that will affect the ending of the game. Obviously, game being called Biomutant has to have some form of mutations slash abilities, right? There's quite a wide range of them. Primarily, we have the biomutations, so those are kind of more physical abilities, if you will. For example, you can spawn a mushroom in front of you. That has multiple uses, if I just use that one as an example, in terms of creative freedom for you as a player. Combining this jumping up on the mushroom with, let's say, just electricity shooting out from your fingers, like the Emperor in Star Wars, or once the character is airborne, like your enemy, just going up there, unleashing some other kind of strange abilities. I don't want to go into all of them. But the other aspect is the psi mutations. So those are more like your, you know, X-Men style abilities, if you will. Like, for example, levitate, which again can give you both exploration opportunities, but also then you can use it in combat in conjunction with other abilities, and obviously ranged combat. So that will give you an advantage, I guess. You're wanting to keep on exploring the world because you're wondering what's going to be, you know, around the next corner. And I guess the hope that we have as a group, as a team, is that that's going to be the unifying factor in terms of people playing the game and giving us feedback, that it's notable that the game has a soul or a vibe that is a little bit unique and special. That's my highest hope for the game, I guess.